4,800 seems like a good SP500 target. Explanation for why I still think it's going lower, but maybe shorter term still getting that bounce. Higher time frame, we're just matching up to the prior correctional periods. And so in terms of like percentage to the downside, the Nasdaq is a good example as well. 37% downside last major weekly breakdown on the Nasdaq, 37% to the downside. It took us 14 months to eventually bottom. And then when we did, back to up only conditions as the stock market likes to produce. Very similar position in terms of what we're getting now across all of the major indexes. Obviously, weekly structures breaking, lows being lost, fresh lows created, 6-month lows created for S&P last week. And so in a scenario where we're now finally getting that kind of heaviness of the market starting to rotate and push us into the downside, and more aggressive selling that we've seen for quite a decent patch of time. Lower time frame, again, it's going to bounce. Nasdaq did it when we did that 14-month correction. Obviously, during 14 months, we're not just going down only all the time. So there's going to be patches of time in which we're going to get significant relief bounces. And so I'm hoping that the indexes are going to put one of those in. I hope that we're going to trade kind of towards the 5750s. That would kind of be a nice zone through here. So anything that we get that basically gets into this lower boundary that we had last time. So if we can get kind of into this region through here, I think that this is pretty decent for it anywhere through this area here. And then probably we're going to have reset this. We're going to be ready for downside, and we're probably going to get Trump that says something or some sort of geopolitical tension that's going to erupt and suddenly catapult us to the downside again. 4,800 as a target point, I think is relatively decent. Reason being, and there's a kind of a similar thought process on my side, although I said 4,600. That's like a, if you get 4,600 on the indexes, I think, to be honest with you, you probably don't even need to buy crypto. You just buy this market and you just sit on it. Like, really, that's probably, a super sensible option. And then through here, I think, kind of around the 4,800 level, we're basically just looking at tagging as much of this run up as we've had. We're just looking at getting as deep into this as we can. Potential for a little untested demand region through here as well, kind of running in line with 4,800 would be nice. It looks like a huge correction. Like I said, I think the markets are going to bounce in the short term. I'd also like the market to not produce this scenario. I'd rather us not trade down to these levels, because kind of from a global perspective, things are also probably looking pretty shitty. Crypto's obviously going to be looking pretty shitty at this point in time. But I do think that when you get these sort of market corrections on the indexes, then it provides a huge amount of opportunity for you.